So do you want to have a Great Dane that walks beautifully to your left-hand side on a loose lead and is always looking up to you for guidance and direction and under complete control at all times? Well, don't worry, because that is exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Welcome back to the Fenrir Great Dane Show. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Will. I'm a canine behaviourist and I'm the founder and CEO of FenrirCanineLeaders.com. Now, this channel is dedicated to helping you learn everything that you could possibly ever dream of knowing about the incredible Great Dane and then how to become high-level canine leaders that raise perfect Great Dane companions. So if you love this breed, I promise you there's something here on this channel for you. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you never miss a future Great Dane video. Now, let's dive into today's topic. And one of the most common queries that people come to me with as a canine behaviorist, especially when we're talking about a large, powerful breed like a Great Dane, is that they're pulling on a lead. They're so strong that it's become unmanageable. And what should be a lovely, pleasant experience of you being able to go out for a walk with your dog has turned into something that's the worst part of your day. People will then start to avoid it. So the dog's not getting enough exercise, which then causes more behavior problems. And it's the fastest slippery slope to an incredibly poorly behaved Great Dane. Now, as a canine behaviorist, it's something that we pride ourselves on here, of being able to help people go through modification programs to be able to fix that and address it, but it isn't an easy solution. What is an easy solution is putting in the effort up front and getting it nailed perfectly first time round. If you can achieve that, then it saves you the heartache moving in the future of going through a process like that. And also it's extremely expensive to get a professional in to be able to help you unpick those established bad behaviors. So I really want to encourage you to go into this new incredible journey with your Great Dane puppy of putting in the effort in up front, get it right first time round, and like I say, you'll save yourself heartache and a fortune down the line. So how is it that we do that? Now, as part of our Perfect Puppy program, and if you're interested, the link is in the description box below for that, we go into a lot of detail about heel walking. It's one of my 5 mandatory areas of perfect obedience. Not only is it glorious to be able to walk a powerful breed like a Great Dane under complete control, but the knock-on effects that has in terms of manners, socialization, and relationship between yourself and your dog is so powerful that it's a tool that, in my opinion, must be utilized by all high-level canine leaders. So we go into a lot of detail and a step-by-step process of how we do that. But don't worry, in this video, I'm going to give you the overview, the overarching theory of how it is that I help all of my clients have such high levels of success from day one. And I break it down into kind of like a 4-step process. The first step of the process is we need to teach the Great Dane puppy that we want it on our left-hand side and that the word heel means that's where I would like you to be. So to do that, we use a lure, mark, and reinforce process. A lure is simply anything that you can get the dog to follow. You can use a lure and stick. I like to use a little piece of meat to put it in between my fingers. It could be a piece of kibble. Anything that smells nice and the dog wants, we can pop it in front of their nose and they'll want to follow it. We use that to lure the dog into the right position, which is by our left-hand side. When they're in that perfect position, we mark it with heel or whatever word it is that you want to use, and then we give them access to the treat. That simple, that straightforward. We drill that over and over again for days, weeks, early on, until we know that the dog completely understands that when I use this term heel, I want you on my left-hand side. When we achieve that, congratulations. You have taught your dog the foundation principle of how to walk nicely to heel. Now, obviously, the difference between teaching them that and then being able to walk through Times Square in New York with a dog that will walk perfectly to heel is a completely different thing. So we need to layer up and slowly build on top of that foundation layer. So the next thing we do is we start to add turns and direction and movement into that. So we're doing it in a low distraction environment, like here in our Fenrir studio, indoors, quiet, there's not much going on, so the dog can focus. We've got their complete attention. Now we taught them, we want them on our left-hand side. So now we're going to start adding a 90-degree turn, 180 degree turn, 270, 360 degrees, both clockwise and anti-clockwise. And constantly we're luring them, marking the behavior, and reinforcing it. And we're turning it into a super fun, positive, exciting game that not only is teaching them the principles of heel, but it's also building that relationship and that communication that is imperative for all areas of perfect canine companionship. So we make it a really fun game. And again, over days and weeks, we build this up. We also start to add in steps moving forward. So we might start off with one step and a 90-degree turn, all the way up to being able to do laps of this place, this studio, turning in all different directions, taking different steps, luring the dog, marking it, and praising and reinforcing when they achieve success. And it's all about setting our puppies up for success and then communicating so clearly it's unreal that this is heel. This is what I mean by marking this turn with heel. And if you do that for me, I promise you, positive things are going to happen. That's kind of the next step. Then what we want to do is we add the lead to this. So far we've been doing this without a lead. We then add a lead to the process, because what we want to do is have the lead and heel be seamless. So whenever a lead is on our puppy or on our dog as they turn into adult dog, the association is so deeply ingrained in their mind. Lead goes on and we're heeling. Lead goes on and we're heeling. The two things are the same thing. So eventually we can get to a point with a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 10-year-old Great Dane. As soon as that lead goes on, yep, no worries, boss. I'm by your left-hand side. Awesome. This is going to be amazing. Where are we going? What adventure are we going on? That is the essence of what we're doing. So we now, step 3, we add the lead to that process. Then once the dog associates that and the two things start to merge, then we move into the next step, which is now moving on to adding up distractions, increasing time and distance, removing the amount of time that we mark the behavior and removing the amount of time that we reinforce the behavior. This is not a bribery relationship. We use food rewards to help teach them. Now they understand the principle. We need to be able to remove that. And the reason that they're doing this for us is because of that relationship and that communication that we've developed over all of the other areas of excellent canine ownership. It's not just about these obedience tricks, it's about manners and socialization and the wider theory of relationship. But when we can tap into those areas with obedience, now we're talking. Now we've got a perfect canine companion. Now we've got a wonderful Great Dane. So all we're going to do is we'll go into a low distraction outdoor environment, maybe in your garden. Then we might go to a park where there's no dogs. Then we might slowly start to build up with a park where there's some dogs on the other side. Then we might do some work on a quiet road with not many people or traffic. Then slowly build up to more busier roads. And slowly but surely we take these baby steps. We set our Great Dane up for success. Then we reward and celebrate that success to let them know, yes, that's what I want you to do. Brilliant. I appreciate you doing that. Awesome. Do that more, please. This is amazing. And we set them up for success, and slowly over weeks and months and even years, we get to a point where we started indoors, no distraction, and we taught them the principle. And now we can take that principle and utilize it walking through Times Square in New York, having a Great Dane that is wonderfully obedient, walking nicely next to us. Now, that is the overarching principle of how you teach a puppy to heel. It isn't rocket science. The theory is quite basic. How we go about it is quite basic. That doesn't mean that it's easy. Where people go wrong is because that requires a high level of dedication, commitment, consistency and leadership. Now, if you're willing to be dedicated, hardworking, consistent, and to be a good leader for this new Great Dane that you've brought into your life, you will have incredible levels of success. If you're a little bit flaky, a little bit lazy, inconsistent, you do some work some days and then a few days without it, and then you go back and expect success, you are going to quickly devolve into problem behaviors. With canine leadership, consistency is absolutely key. Now, there's a couple of hurdles that people often come up against when teaching their Great Dane to walk nicely to heel, and we'll go over those now. The first one is about ruining the relationship with the lead. Now, again, as part of my Perfect Puppy program and our protocol, what we do is we recommend to people that they never use a lead with their new puppy unless it's part of the Fenrir basic obedience drill. And as part of that drill, we're getting them used to having a lead on, and they remain calm and quiet, and it's nothing to kind of get excited about or nothing to be scared of. And other than that, we wait until we introduce the lead to heel walking, because what we want, like I say, is for when a lead goes on, 100% of the time, that means you are by my left-hand side walking nicely to heel. That's the association that we want to create with the lead. Now, if you're going out and exercising your new Great Dane, you're socializing them in those early weeks like we should be doing, and you've got them on a lead and they're running around all over the place and they're bouncing off the end of the lead and they're pulling and going wherever they want, we're creating that connotation, that relationship with the lead. And then when we get to the stage of the heel working where we add the lead, we get frustrated and expect the dog to then naturally be able to forget all of that stuff it's been doing for weeks and now do it our way. That's not fair on the dog, and we've set them up for failure now. So what I recommend is that you never use that lead until, like I say, basic obedience drill and then heel work. What that doesn't mean is that we can ever be in a situation where it is dangerous for our Great Dane puppy. If you're socializing them, exercising in them in a location where you can't guarantee safety, don't put them on a lead or an extendable lead. What I recommend you do is get a lightweight long line lead, or even just a run of paracord that you can just tie in a quick knot on their little buckle of their collar and drop it on the floor. We're not necessarily interfering in any way with lead work. The dog will forget that it's there. They have free roam as far as they're concerned, but in any of those God forbid situations where we need to intervene, we can quickly pick it up off the floor, reel them in, and absolutely guarantee safety without interfering with our heel work later on that might take a few weeks before we're at that stage of heel work. So that's kind of one main hurdle that you can very easily and quickly overcome. The next one being what we kind of touched on earlier is about not being patient and setting our dogs up for failure. Now, if we're patient and consistent, we can set our dog up for success. When they succeed, we can praise and reward it. However, if we're impatient and set our dog up for failure and they go through a situation where they do fail, they pull on a lead, they're not paying attention to us, one of two things can happen. We can either ignore that behavior because we're following a positive only methodology of training. That doesn't mean you've got any way of correcting that bad behavior. At best, you can distract them, try and redirect them back to the desired behavior and then start again. But we've got no way of being able to say, no, I don't want you to do that, which is okay. If you're following a positive only methodology, it definitely can be done. But if we're setting our dog up for failure and they fail, and in particular in terms of pulling is a very self-rewarding behavior. So if we've got no way of being able to say, no, stop it, that's not what you should be doing, they will go pull and go, oh, that was fun. I'm in control. I'm exploring. I'm going where I want. It's a very self-rewarding behavior for the dog. That behavior will happen much more. And then unfortunately, you're then going to go down that slippery slope to a dog that walks terribly. Now, on the flip side of that, if you're a balanced trainer and you have got opportunities to correct your dog, then you will be able to say, no, I don't want you to do that. Bring them back into the heel position and then go back to that positive only realm of praising them and reinforcing it. Now, I am a balanced trainer, but that's because I work with extreme cases of poor canine behavior. A Rottweiler that might be trying to kill every dog it ever meets. I might need to come in with that with a balanced approach at being able to quickly in a 1 hour session correct that behavior out of them to save that Rottweiler's life, because otherwise it's going to get put down. Just because I follow that methodology in terms of behavior modification doesn't mean that that's what we should be doing with our new puppies. With our new puppies, we want to live in the positive realm as much as possible. Set our dogs up for success, let them achieve success, and then praise and reinforce and celebrate that success. If you can follow all of those tips, I promise you, you will have a wonderful Great Dane. You will be a high-level canine leader and have that perfect canine relationship that you've always dreamed of. Now, I hope that helped. If it did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. We've got 2 new Great Dane videos coming to this channel every single week. So I promise you, there's something here on this channel for you. So I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Fenrir Great Dane Show.